Hello and welcome again to the Completely Biased Podcast. I'm Sean, joined with my colleague, my friend Trevor, on our nightly poker table. We've got discussing NBA.
This poker table is getting pretty famous.
I know. Well, I mean, like 5 people listen to the show.
That's fine.
So 5 people know about this poker table that didn't before.
It's pretty impressive. I mean,
but we're recording this on a Wednesday night, October 25th. Just in case anything does happen after we discuss NBA or whatever is going on. Let's just jump right into what we're going to discuss on today's show. Trevor's going to do a little FanDuel section at the end. If you're interested in FanDuel, you can just go ahead and skip to that. Or listen to us rant for about 15-20 minutes on NBA stuff. And then get to the FanDuel stuff. But we're going to jump into like what our big surprises and kind of disappointments are for the season so far. Both players, teams, anything that we got on our mind. And I just want to throw it over to Trevor and see if, let him start it off.
Yeah, so obviously we did all of our predictions for Eastern and Western Conference, our awards, stuff like that.
And it's important to remember that it's only a weekend, so we shouldn't be over-exaggerating or just going overboard on the sky is falling, these teams suck.
But this is America. We over-exaggerate everything.
I know, but like you said, it is America and it's a sports show, so we have to get critical on one weekend.
Absolutely.
Right.
For me, the biggest disappointment, obviously, as everybody knows, I'm a big Nikola Jokic fan, and even though it's not his fault, he's actually had a really good year. The Denver Nuggets have been a complete disappointment.
I wouldn't even say he had a really good year. He had one good game, and then there's 2 games before that he had a 6. What NBA star has a 6-quarter scoring drought?
Okay, fine. But
6 quarters. That means for a game.
He recovered it. He
had a 29-point game. That's fine. But even going into the season, I told you that his scoring bothers me. His rebounding and assist numbers are always going to be good, but he just does not have... He can shoot outside. He just does not have the ability to get by people, and he doesn't have the go-to moves in the post. He has an okay jump hook, but it's not like he's a post operator.
The thing is, they won by 15 or 20 in that game. So it's not in the game where he scored 0 points, I should say. So it's not like that's a big deal. There is a problem they didn't score at the end of the Utah game, but he also had 12 rebounds and 8 assists.
So, but like I said, his rebounds and assist numbers are not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about him being able to score, especially if they start cutting off those assist lanes. Is he going to be able to? Because that's one thing with people that were really, really big on passing, pass first people like Nikola Jokic, and it mainly wasn't big men that are like this, but point guards and stuff.
Right.
They make them score. They take away those passing lanes, and then what does Jokic do when he has to score? He did erupt
29 points.
He did have a good night where he had 29 points, but it's a problem because I don't remember any star ever having 6-quarter drought in scoring. He did not score a single field goal for 6 quarters. That's a problem.
It is a problem, but he's also made up for it, and they're playing the Hornets right now, and he's got 18 points and 9 rebounds. So
yeah. They're down by 20.
13, sir.
Okay.
But, even just take Jokic aside, other than the really one bad game, the 6 bad quarters, I don't think he's been that bad. I think he's been fine.
He's been all right.
Jamal Murray's been terrible.
Yeah.
Just terrible.
I was hoping for a Jamal Murray kind of...
he was my most improved player, and he's just been awful so far. Gary Harris had 1 or 2 good games, or 1.5 good games, I guess, if you want to put it. And he's been pretty bad.
That was a really popular pick for people saying, this is why Denver's going to be good, because Gary Harris is going to take that next jump.
He got paid.
And he got paid, but he just... like I said, it's a week into the season. We'll see where these guys are, but it's not like this is a new team. This team was all together last year, so it's no chemistry problems or anything like that.
And the only thing new is Paul Millsap, and he's actually been pretty good.
Yeah, Paul Millsap.
He's just consistent. You know what you're going to get out of Paul Millsap.
Yeah.
They've been my biggest disappointment so far in the year. I thought they were going to come out and surprise some teams, take control, and they're on the verge of being 1-3 here. And the one game that they won is Nikola Jokic scored 6 points.
Yeah.
So, who else you got?
I don't really have any other teams for disappointment. There's a lot of players on my mind that are... One thing for me is, I knew that the Phoenix Suns were going to be really bad. And I kind of had a thing, the Sixers, even though they're the whole thing they're for real, they're 1-3. Yeah, we all, or at least me and Trevor, knew that they weren't going to make the playoffs or anything. So that's not a big shocker to me. I don't really have... Other than the Denver Nuggets, like you said, and Jokic has underperformed. But a lot of the things.
What about Minnesota?
I think they've been fine. I mean, they beat OKC, which is not a new team, but they've got a lot of new pieces that they got to learn how to play together. And Andrew Wiggins and Karl-Anthony Towns both need to learn how to play defense. And before they learn how to play defense, they're going to be like a fringe playoff team. If they learn how to play defense, they'd be a great team.
You know, I'm really starting to kind of question Tom Thibodeau, who, as a Bulls fan, I've like.
So are they 2-3 now? Because they were 2-2.
They're 2-2. They're down by 20 to Detroit. To be fair, Jimmy Butler's not playing.
Yeah.
So that probably has a big part. But I'm trying to question Tom Thibodeau. I mean, as a Bulls fan, I've always kind of thought like, wow, he's like this great coach. I mean, he got all of this out of our great players. Now I'm thinking like, now that he doesn't have all these defensive stars, maybe he's not as good as a defensive coach.
I think he's a good coach. It's just so. It's not just like he has that one sample size in Chicago. He was a really, really good defensive coach in
for
Boston.
No,
I think he's still a really good coach. It's just the NBA has changed. It's not the same game it was 5 years ago when he was in Chicago and they were making the Western Conference Finals.
Eastern Conference Finals.
Sorry, Eastern Conference Finals. And it's not the same NBA. The NBA is. It's changed a lot to where, you want to be good on defense, but you want to be able to score with. You want to be able.
Do you think the NBA's outgrown him? Like,
yeah, I think so. I think that he can change. Like, he's a student and everything, and he like wants to learn all the time, and he'll eventually, I think, come around to the new NBA. And I still think he's a good coach. It's just
I do too.
Some of the pieces. It's hard to fault because Karl-Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins' defense is laughable. Karl-Anthony Towns got...
It's such a shame. They should both be good defenders,
I know.
too.
And so Karl-Anthony Towns, there's no doubt that he's a great offensive player, but I saw Jeremy Grant from the Oklahoma City Thunder dominate him in the post. And Jeremy Grant is probably like 20 pounds lighter than him. And he just spun him around, dunked on him. Karl-Anthony Towns didn't look like he knew what he was doing.
He is athletic, though, Jeremy Grant.
He is, but I mean, like,
I agree with you.
Like, there's a reason you don't see stars like that just getting dunked on at the post all the time.
Right. Most stars should at least be able to hold their own a little bit. And
Karl-Anthony Towns on defense is bad. Like
Kevin Love bad?
Like, yeah, he's really bad. I don't know about Kevin Love bad, but he's pretty bad.
Dude, Kevin Love, speaking of which, since we're just going to jump right in and I want to talk about my Bulls, Kevin Love could not guard Lauri Markkanen.
I know. So I
all.
watched the little like burst by Lauri Markkanen. Even the commentators were like, Kevin Love cannot go under on those screens. What is he doing?
Dude, Lauri Markkanen looks good. He looks really good.
This is like, he has nothing around. He has to score.
Exactly. He has nothing around him, so they're focusing on him, and he's still dropping 17, 18,
Are they focusing on him because Kevin Love is playing 15 feet off?
I'm just saying, he looks good. He looks like he belongs in the league. Which
he can definitely shoot.
We can all admit that right out of the gate, we kind of thought he'd be weak and, not a good rebounder. He's been a really good rebounder.
Yeah.
He's shot the ball really well. So
I just don't want you to be right about this.
I know you don't. But if he was in New York or LA, they'd be hyping him up like,
I know, he'd be Porzingis.
Yeah. So he's been off to a better start than Porzingis did.
Yeah, but Porzingis,
it's only been 3 games.
Like, Porzingis was 7-3 and kind of handled the ball a little bit. So it's true. Like,
I'm awfully optimistic, especially that Zach LaVine will be coming back.
It looks a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And I was a big hater of Lauri Markkanen. I mean, a lot of people were. A lot of people did not like that Bulls pick.
He's a big, goofy white guy, on the court.
He can definitely shoot. He has the record for the most 3-pointers in the NBA.
Oh, first 3 games.
First 3 games. He can definitely shoot, and I think he had 5 or 6 of them against the Cavs.
Yeah, I think 5 against the Cavs. I think he had 4 the night before, 4 against the Spurs.
He can shoot, and when he shoots, it's really quick release for a big guy.
Really quick.
And it's pretty pure and nothing but net all the time, and it's pretty scary. But one of the things that surprised me just watching him play sometimes is, like what you said, his toughness. He doesn't just sit out there and shoot. He does that a lot, and that's what he's going to be later in his career. He's just going to be sitting out in the perimeter. We'll see if he can put some weight on and maybe bang around.
Well, he was going for boards, shots he knew he'd missed. He was recovering.
Yeah, I mean, he's not afraid of it.
He's not what Nikola Mirotic was 2 years ago, where he was scared to get touched.
So I think sad to say, he's been one of the more impressive rookies. He's been right behind Jason Tatum as far as like.
Yeah, Jason Tatum's looked good. I was kind of wrong on that one.
Yeah, me too. It seems we were both wrong on both those guys. I mean, I think those are probably the best two, like, looking rookies.
I guess Lonzo.
But Lonzo had a really bad game.
He's had two bad,
Yeah.
It's like, so hard to say Lonzo's been bad because he's being hyped like crazy. And I cannot wait to see what
He hasn't been bad. I'm just saying, Lauri Markkanen and Jason Tatum have had nothing but okay or good games.
Yes.
They have not had a bad game yet.
Right. No, I understand.
And Jason Tatum, like, last night had 22 points.
Yeah, he was great again.
After that first half in Cleveland.
Simmons, I guess,
too.
He's
Ben
technically
Simmons,
a rookie.
yeah. I forgot about that. But speaking of the Sixers, giant disappointment that everyone's shocked about, more so his shot, like why he changed it, is Markelle Fultz.
He hurt.
Looks lost.
He does. But he's hurt.
He is hurt now. Or he was hurt before. Now he's taking games off because it's getting worse, his soreness in his shoulder.
He does not look good.
But he has not looked good. I heard a point that maybe he changed his shot because his shoulder looks so bad, and maybe that's why his shot looks like that. But why would you change your form that dramatically when it wasn't even that bad for you?
It didn't look like Lonzo's. It wasn't that bad.
Do not listen to people that saying they want to change your shot. Always stick with your shot if you've been doing that for your whole career. There's been so many people that have ugly jump shots that work. It doesn't matter if it's ugly or not. If it works, it works.
Ask Joakim Noah. He could hit like 15-footers and it freaking went sideways.
But then last year he airballed them like...
That's true. But I'm just saying, for 5 or 6 years... I mean,
yeah.
That's the ugliest shot I could ever
Kevin
think
Martin,
of.
Shawn Marion...
Josh Childress.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean... It's not even like his shot looked ugly. He had a high release.
It was okay. I mean, it looked weird.
And he didn't shoot like an amazing percentage, but just keep working on your shot. Like, you don't have to change it to form completely.
Yeah.
It wasn't broken in it by any means. It wasn't like Lonzo where it's got this giant hitch in it. But Lonzo, like, people are saying, do not change Lonzo's shot because Lonzo's shot works for him. You know, don't change your shot for no reason. That's like another thing, like, where is he, like, mentally if he's changing a shot like that? We'll see, like, when he comes back after the shoulder injury, if it goes back to normal. Maybe he can't raise his shoulder to where it was before, and maybe it's changing a bit, but he just hasn't looked good, and I bet Boston's just snickering to themselves like,
Boston got the good end of the deal on that one, that's for sure.
Any other teams that have surprised you or players that have surprised you?
In a good way. They haven't surprised me, but I want you to talk about the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah, well, I was going to say before that there's not that many players or teams that have disappointed me. There's a lot of players and teams that have impressed me more so. I mean, you got the Orlando Magic, which I don't think is like a real thing.
No.
Like, I mean, a lot of teams, like, there's always this team, like, Lakers went 500 for the first 22 games or something last season.
Yeah, I remember that. We're talking about playoffs, how they're going
to... There's going to be someone that, like, there's going to be some come down to earth moment. But Aaron Gordon looked amazing in that first game. And then, like you said, Memphis Grizzlies.
He's looked really good.
Yeah, and the Memphis Grizzlies, like you said, I have to eat my words on the Memphis Grizzlies. They've beaten both the Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets. And if they keep this up, then I just don't know. I don't know how they're getting any production out of anybody. Because they're starting, like... What is their starting lineup outside of Marc Gasol and... they're starting Andrew Harrison.
Yeah,
they're starting Andrew Harrison, and they're a 3-1.
I think right now, I'm not for sure on this, but I think Dylan Brooks is starting.
I don't think. I think it was.
Maybe not. I know JaMychal Green went down, so maybe James Ennis, Andrew Harrison. James Ennis, Andrew Harrison, Mike Conley, obviously Marc Gasol, and I am blank on the last one. Oh, Jarrell Martin. Sorry, Jarrell Martin.
Yeah, that's exactly my point for the starting lineup. Outside of Marc Gasol and Mike Conley, there's not really much talent there. I mean, I just don't see how they score.
I mean, Mike Conley's averaging 18 points a game. Marc Gasol's averaging 25 points a game.
Yeah, I mean, so this is kind of bad for me to say, but I have some hope for my thing for the Memphis Grizzlies not make playoffs still happening. Because Marc Gasol is historic with these great starts. He comes out of the gate guns blazing and puts up these great numbers, and then kind of falls off later in the year. So we'll see where they land. But they've definitely shocked me beating the two top teams in the West. so far.
I thought they were going to be like an 8